All right, let's get to the other game from last night where the Nets looked awesome in that 26-point win over the Warriors. The 7-11 duo of Kyrie and KD. Kyrie 26 points in 25 minutes. KD 22 points in 25 minutes. Perk, was that blowout last night more about the Nets being great or the Warriors having trouble?
It was more about the Nets being great. It's not, look, the Warriors are not the only team that's going to get blown out by the Brooklyn Nets. It's going to be a lot of teams get blown out by them, Rachel. They are deep. Kyrie and KD are on a mission right now. Look, Kyrie could burn all the sage that he wants. He could sit Indian style. I don't care what he do off the court. When he get between those lines and he play this type of basketball, the Nets are going to be tough to beat. And I love what Steve Nash is doing right now by bringing Karis LeVert off the bench, because he could possibly win Sixth Man of the Year because he's a bucket.
Yes.
But look, the most important thing I was impressed about, the ball movement. Guys were not playing my turn basketball. They were letting it go. They were flowing through the offense and not forcing anything. And by the way, on the defensive end, their energy was there, and it was set by Kevin Durant, blocking shots and taking charges. The Brooklyn Nets are really, really scary to anyone, but they're coming out of the East. I tell you that much.
Ooh, all right, Vince, what about you?
And say it, and I tell you, it could go either way. Depends on what side of the spectrum you're on. But I definitely think it's about the Brooklyn Nets and what they have to offer. And just think about this: the last 2 years, they made the playoffs, and they did not have Kevin Durant, and they did not have Kyrie Irving.
Right.
So now you're adding prolific superstars to this team, and all you need now is adjustment to getting these guys to buy in. I agree with bringing Karis LeVert off the bench as another scorer. So when you bring one of those guys, KD, Kyrie, out, and you bring Karis, and you still have two scorers, or you can put him in there and feature him by himself. So they have so many options. Defensively, they're very good. And you see, like you said, Kevin Durant has bought in and in position. And there was one situation where he missed a tag, a bump, and then he ended up getting a foul. Mm-hmm. And he said, and he admitted his wrong to the bench and to the coach. And I think that's the start, first of all, of a good defensive team. And players like that admitting their wrongs now can translate to good things later on down the line.
See, that's fascinating to me. I didn't catch that moment, Vince. I love hearing that, though, because one of the concerns about this Nets team, right, has been that defensively they're not as strong. They're not set up to be as strong as they are offensively. And can they bring that level up? Now, we saw with the Lakers last year, if you took the numbers of all the players the season previous, they didn't look like they would be a good defensive team. But guess what? Well, they buckled down and played great defense. And you think the Nets can do the same, Vince?
Well, Rachel, I'm going to say this. Even if they're not great individual defensive players, team defense is most important. What are your strengths that they have on their defense? They're shot blockers. So you just need to be solid, not get beat on the first dribble, and funnel everything down to your big guys, to your shot blockers. You have two elite shot blockers behind you, so you just need to be solid. You don't have to be locked down. You have to be a two-way player. But you just need to be solid and come up with the scheme that works for you. And you're going to make adjustments because you're going to play against special players. I understand that. But if you have a solid defensive system, good things can happen because offensively, like Perk said, they're going to blow out a lot of people. They're going to blow out a lot of people. They're going to outscore a lot of people. But when those close games come about, you just have to remain solid. Yes, some schemes are not going to work, but if you know that you have two shot blockers behind you, that should be comforting.
And one thing that we have to keep in mind is that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are NBA champions, so they know what it takes. And when I watched from the start of the game, Kyrie Irving took on the challenge of guarding Steph Curry. He guarded Steph Curry. He picked him up, and I said, you know what? This team is locked in. And that comes from being taught in Cleveland for Kyrie Irving. You look at Kevin Durant. I saw that he was locked in. I taught him well. And then also learning from Golden State. What people don't give Kevin Durant enough credit for is that he is a leader. He's a leader. So Steve Nash could hold Kevin Durant accountable, and Kevin Durant could accept it. Everyone else now could be held accountable by Steve Nash. And you could tell they was tied on one string defensively, and it was very impressive to watch.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.